That was our intro music.
Really?
Oh,
I was
really?
giving some intro music.
Very Justin Timberlake or Blake Lewis.
Music is a funny word for that.
Welcome to TV Insiders Podcast. It is November 12th. I am Dalton Ross, sitting here with Michael Slezak.
Hey guys.
And Annie Barrett.
You were kind of drumming a little.
He was.
Hello.
You know who's not here? No Michael Osiello.
Yay!
Oh, wait, that was supposed to go on. Here's my sound effects.
You know he's going to be on the message board later being like, posting as like Jane or something.
Yeah.
And telling us how awful
He
we
has
are.
nothing to do.
We got a lot of great stuff we're going to talk about this week. We are going to talk about Modern Family and art picks for the funniest person on that show. That's a tough decision.
That's very hard.
We're going to make it. We make the hard choices here on the TV Insiders. Talk about Survivor, a crazy episode the other night, just like everybody hating everybody, it seems. We have some Dancing with the Stars discussion. We're going to talk about Bristol Palin, what the hell she is still doing on that show, and of course another Dancing with the Stars controversy that we're going to get into. That will be discussed live. But first, the big news of the week, Conan O'Brien finally back on the air, his first week, now almost under his belt. Start with you, Slezak. What do you think so far?
Well, I'm a tough person to ask about this subject because I don't really care for late night shows. I'm just going to put it out there. I know people are probably
It's out
like,
there.
that's
How dare
really
you.
lame. If it's late at night and I'm up, I'm either trying to catch up on my DVR or I'm going to bed. So really lame of me. But I thought Conan was good. It was amusing. I wasn't like wowed. I was surprised that I didn't laugh out loud as much as I thought I would. I found myself smiling a little bit like, oh, that's cute or that's funny, but I didn't laugh a lot. I don't know, is it just me?
There are parts I laughed at, but I think so much the first two nights, the fodder was the NBC situation. And I just felt like we've heard all those jokes for so long. And I went to the live show, and it was all NBC jokes. His last couple weeks on The Tonight Show were all NBC jokes. And I understand there's a lot of fodder, but it just felt like we're done with that. We're past that. He eased up on that on night 3, which was nice.
Well, I liked it. It's just Conan doing his show again.
Right.
And if you liked it before, I love Conan, so I
Big fan,
would
big
still rather watch his show on whatever channel, even Univision, which he predicts will happen.
Univision. Well, Annie, let me ask you. You say you're a huge Conan fan. Were you surprised though? I thought like it wouldn't be so structured just like his NBC shows with the desk and the announcer. And I thought like it's cable, not like he's going to go all loco like Lopez, but like, bring the party to late night. But I thought that it would be a little more casual maybe, but it wasn't.
Well, he does have the oceanscape, and it allowed for a whale to splash Tom Hanks.
Breaching and plunging, that's
Which
right.
is always welcome. He loved it. He said it was magnificent. Very Tom Hanks word, magnificent.
He's a magnificent
Who
man.
else says that?
Magnificent.
But about the TVS stuff, I just think that Conan is always self-deprecating in every way. He's awesome. He gets paid a lot. Everyone loves him. He's got millions of followers. And yet he still makes fun of himself constantly. He's just doing the same thing on TBS. It just happens to be in a different setting. So of course he's talking about the network.
His whole self-deprecating thing obviously comes from his Simpsons background. The Simpsons always do that. And they always make fun of Fox the way he's making fun of TBS constantly now as well.
And they had the TBS exec in, and that guy wore the fish tank underwear. Maybe it was just 4 in the morning, but I was laughing pretty hard at that.
I liked Taller and Gayer Ellen as a name of his show. That was like one moment where I just like guffawed. I kind of did feel like the set was a little staid and a little like late night set. You sometimes hear when a new host comes on, they're like, I'm going to shake up late night. But it's like, what else are they going to do? Are they going to sit on stools like Regis and Kelly? Like, where are they going to be?
His promos are so ridiculous that I think that kind of makes up for it. Have you seen the Pour Some Sugar on Me one where he's just, it is ridiculous.
Yes.
I love it. And maybe that kind of makes up for the relative staidness of the new set.
You know what else I loved were the American Express ads where he's making the curtain, from scratch. I thought that was hilarious.
Okay, I've watched him for a few nights now. I like Conan. I wouldn't say I'm a crazy fan like you, Annie. I wouldn't say like Mike, who doesn't watch the late night, that I don't watch him at all.
Who are you calling crazy?
You're crazy in many ways. I like him. I like his stuff, but I do like Stewart better. If I had the choice to watch Conan or Stewart, now I've seen Conan's new show at 11 a little bit, I will watch Stewart and Colbert.
Whoa.
All right, let's break it down. Slezak, give me your first week grade for Conan. Go.
I'd give him a B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Annie?
A+++++++.
Come on.
Oh.
I'm going with Slezak. I'm going to go B. I would have maybe said B- at first, but like I said, he's getting more in a groove now. Hanks and Ricky Gervais were sort of doing the same sort of gag. Oh, you're going to be fired from here in 6 months and, whatever. But now we can get past that. And so.
Also, I watched 3 episodes this week. John Hamm appeared on 2 of them. I'm satisfied.
That upgrades you.
I'm a satisfied viewer.
Well, shall we move on to the dance floor?
Oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I love the way you say that.
Bristol Palin. She's made the final 4 now, and she's horrible. And
Horror.
she is a horror
That sounded
show.
like horror, but I meant horror.
Annie, has anyone this bad ever made it this far? You are our Dancing with the Stars historian, or her historian.
Oh, I like to study her story.
Like that? Okay.
Wow.
So you are her historian. So tell us, is she the worst Final Four competitor ever?
I mean, I think so. The first and only person to come to mind that even compares a little, I think, is Ty Murray from season 8. But he was so lovable, and he was trying so hard. He made the Final Four along with 3 really, really good dancers, Sean Johnson, Gilles Marini, and someone else.
Someone who's really damn
Someone
good.
who really made
Melissa
it.
Rycroft.
Freaking
Oh,
good.
that's why I couldn't remember.
It's good to forget Melissa Rycroft. I appreciate that, actually.
But everyone loved him, and I think he got a ton of viewer votes. He was trying. He had a ranch. He kept taking Chelsea on trips, like, for inspiration to his ranch. I mean, all Bristol Palin does is go to Alaska to see her mom.
But Annie, here's the question too with Bristol. Her dancing isn't great, but I feel like where she fails is the non-dancing part of it. There's no joy, there's no embrace of the stupidity of the show.
It's the same problem Audrina had, sort of a sense of just like that blank face.
Well, I think with Bristol, I mean, Audrina, I don't think could help it. I think that's all that is going on.
Robot,
which is fine. Everyone's different. But Bristol is actively trying not to try because she's a little embarrassed about the whole concept of the show. You just have to let that go and be a nerd idiot fool for 3 months.
Yeah, you have to
You're on
embrace
TV.
the idiocy
Do
of
it. Like everyone's doing it.
The other weird thing with Bristol, though, is she is, and I know this is a weird thing to say, but she's a little bit manhandled by Mark Ballas. And I think she dies inside every time he touches her butt or kisses her face like an excited dog.
He went lips on lips
He
kiss.
keeps doing it, and she is clearly,
milestone.
she
It's like
does
a
not
week,
like
6,
it
7,
at
8.
all. And I think part of her wants to leave the show because she's like, get your effing hands off me.
Does he not know she is a teen activist?
I don't know how he would know that. It's not like they say it every time she almost trips down the Technicolor staircase.
So look, let's just get at the elephant in the room, no pun intended, but is this Republicans that are voting for her? Is this just a strictly political move? Sarah Palin, as you mentioned, keeps showing up. Is this a political vote?
I have no idea.
Well, who else would be voting for?
I don't know anyone who votes on the show, or for the show, on the show.
On the show.
Either one. I don't know anyone who would ever vote.
I can't fathom that anyone would vote for Dancing with the Stars based on political
I know, it's so weird.
preferences. It's just weird. It's like, who do you like watching? There's no way she can make the final 3, right? She's not having a really good time, and she's kind of
She hates it.
clearly the worst dancer on there. There's no way she can make the final 3.
But we
I'm
would
gonna
have
put
said
it
that
out
about
there.
Final Four, wouldn't we have said that? I mean, like, how
yeah.
did she make the Final Four?
Yeah, it's already a complete disaster.
All right, well, let's talk
Nice
about
repeat
the
of
other
what I already
big
said in
dancing
the recap.
news of the week. Controversy!
Oh,
yeah.
These controversies are so lame. Dancing with the Stars, but they are so bad. But okay, so Carrie Ann is critiquing Max's choreography, and Max, don't worry about it. He
Don't
keeps
worry,
saying,
right.
Don't worry about
worry
it.
about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that. Give us a 7. Let's see if I care.
Max, within his rights to talk back to the judges, Annie?
He was within some pretty tight pants, so maybe that was kind of like binding. I don't think they really respect Carrie Ann as much as he gives like post-show interviews to sort of do damage control. And if they're training hours and hours and hours a day only to get that pithy comment from her, like, oh, I didn't like the first 8 counts of your dance.
And I think he objected to the fact that Carrie Ann was saying instant dance means you need to start dancing instantly. Instant dance was you receive your music during the telecast and have to come up with your dance based on that. And I think he was ineloquently saying to her, you're misinterpreting what instant dance is. I think also Max really wants to win. I think he feels that he might actually have a chance to win this season. He's never won the Mirrorball trophy.
No.
And
he deserves to win, definitely.
He does, just for those pants alone.
His ass deserves to win.
Here's the question, though. How does that affect voting when he talks back to the judges? Sleazak. Look at this segue. Bring it over to American Idol. We've seen on Idol when people talk back to the judges that audiences often don't like that, and they get penalized in the voting.
Yeah, the thing is, it was funny because Brandy is really the one you're supposed to be voting for because she's the celebrity, and she was clearly trying to cover Max's mouth, being like, let's cut this off, let's not do this. But I think also, we're at a point now this far into Dancing with the Stars life cycle that you do also vote for the pros.
Often you're more familiar with the pros than the quote-unquote celebrities.
Exactly. You know, Audrina, Joanna Krupa, whatnot. But I don't think it's going to hurt Max. I think everyone knows Max is a little bit petulant. He's a little bit egotistical. And I think it somehow works for him. So I really don't think it hurt them. And I think having those two in jeopardy, I really don't think they were the second lowest vote getters this week.
No, definitely not. They just wanted a way to get that, to air out that dirty laundry between Max and Carrie Ann again. They didn't need to.
They didn't.
I mean, that was ridiculous.
And
like,
Brandy's lip was trembling as she was in the bottom two.
She is not, she's in a bad way right now. I mean, she's just like dying to win this
desperately wants to win. And that's what I love about
Mirrorball trophy.
But isn't that what we love about Brandy? She desperately wants to win the show. And she will even say, like, my career is kind of in the toilet. She's indicated, she hasn't said that out loud, but she's basically like, this is all I've got going on. I don't have a love life. I don't have a career. I want to win Dancing with the Stars. And I respect that.
We should let her. Maybe we should start voting for Brandy.
I'm rooting for Brandy.
Or we should just vote for Max.
I want desperation. That's why Lisa Rinna was my favorite contestant ever on Dancing with the Stars, just because she wanted it.
That's true, and that's the main reason I don't like Bristol on the show. I don't care really who she is, but she isn't even buying into it at all.
No.
Okay, let's move over to our other reality obsession, Survivor. Weird episode this week, a really nice Three Little Pigs challenge that I really, really liked a lot. Going through hay and bricks and sticks, and the women bouncing off the bricks, which was fantastic. We've been hating the contestants for a while, but they're really hating each other now. We saw Nayanka versus Marty, Nayanka versus Fabio, Marty versus Jane, even like Brenda versus Chase. A lot of hate going on. Annie Barrett, what do you make of it all?
I'm liking Brenda less and less. She's just Little Miss Perfect. Everything has to be done according to her rules. She suddenly got mad at Chase because he was paranoid, and then he was sad because they never talk anymore, and it was just really weird.
Chase is the guy that's acting stupid. I mean, Brenda is playing the game.
I'm sick of her, though.
Because you're playing the game well?
Yeah, I don't like her as a character.
I think she's smug. Really well.
I think she has a right to be smug. I think she's
overkill.
She's in total control of things, and it's kind of cool. You'd think there would be an uprising somewhere, but there are a lot of muted personalities like Holly and Whatnot who are more than happy.
I love Whatnot. He's doing a great job.
Whatnot's doing
not
fantastic.
Bad. Sleeper pick.
Flying under the radar.
Whatnot, aka Dan. Like, what the hell is that guy?
Oh my God, I
there?
couldn't believe it. It's so funny, but I was thinking that Dan, I didn't realize that he was on the entire episode until he was left on the benches at Tribal Council.
I know, it was a great shot.
I was like, wait, what if Dan, because he's totally not a threat, somehow makes it to the finale? Yeah. He's a rich guy already. And what if he wins?
So he tells he can buy some more alligator shoes. But I look at Dan, I just get infuriated just for him being there. He's not a bad guy, but like it's just infuriating that he's still in the game.
I loved during the memory challenge when he held up coins. He was the only one who held up coins, and Jeff was like, "It's not coins."
And coins hadn't even been lifted at that point. Like it wasn't even in the mix.
I know.
Can I say something controversial about this week's episode, though?
Go.
I liked Nayanka at Tribal Council. I liked that she. I know I'm going to get a sound effect. I liked when she flipped off Marty. When Marty did his little dance back from voting like an ass, because Marty is an ass. You know, he talks too much. He feels like he's in control of the game when he's not, and he went home for it. But when he came,
they're all kind of asses.
But when he came dancing back, Nayanka just flipped him the bird aggressively and prolonged. She held that finger up there, and I liked it because he needed that.
The one thing that I can't stand more than anything, you see it on all reality shows, is when people say, this is who I am, this is who I am. If you don't like it, tough. It's like just no responsibility for their own actions.
Right.
No willingness to change. Or, I mean, that was the most begrudging apology
I'm
I've
a
ever
horrible
seen. Doing the
person.
Yeah, I'm a whoa, hey, watch the language.
I'm sorry.
She's dreadful. It's unbelievable, and it's weird. My interview with her before the game, I knew she was weird and wacky, but none of that hate. Like she was bubbly and happy, and then she just got out there and she's like, forget this, and she's taking it out on everyone. I mean, like, how can you hate Fabio?
Oh, I love Fabio.
How is that possible to hate him?
He's a little annoying.
Oh my God, no, he's not. He's playing dumb. This is genius.
He voted for Jane.
He's not playing dumb.
He fluffed with a Southern woman.
You think he's dumb?
I like Fabio a lot. He's not. I think Fabio, what you're seeing is what you're getting.
Last night he said something like, "I hate playing dumb, but it's the smartest thing to do right now," and he sounded smart. Maybe I'm just really dumb.
Dalton, you're going to have to investigate when it's all said and done. Like, you're going to have to get him on the phone and give him a series of, like, tough intellectual questions to see if he can ace them or if he's as dumb as...
I like where you're going with this, Mike. We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do this. Hey, you know what else? Let's go to...
Dante?
I couldn't even tell you. I forget.
Let's go to our Twitter question of the week. We have one from Where do these people get these handles? Maggie Moo 8832.
Does she go to Maggie Moo Ice Cream?
I don't know.
In New Jersey, because it's really tasty.
You'll have to send her a sweet tweet and find out yourself.
That's cool.
Well, Maggie Moo 8832 asks, how do you feel about Survivor recruiting contestants versus choosing people who apply freely? And I'll tell you, Annie Barrett and Michael Slezak, this is a hot topic in the Survivor community.
You say so.
It is a very hot topic, and it's interesting because obviously the easy answer is to say it should all be people who apply. Don't recruit these people that don't know the game and don't want to play and this and that. But then actually you go back and you look at it, some of the best seasons were seasons with people were heavily recruited. Palau was recruited like crazy. Cook Islands, which got really good near the end, was recruited like crazy. Obviously, if I had my druthers, I'd take people that want to be on the show. They go out of their way to be on the show. But they're not always the best characters, so you never know. Now, this season, heavily recruited and not a good season.
I think that's cyclical of any reality show, though. Casting, you know, it's not going to be a knockout every season, and I think more often than not, they cast well because the show is now in, what, its 21st season?
21st. And I will say this, I'm not going to say much at all about season 22, but I was on location, and you meet all the contestants.
Ooh, you're such a TV
beforehand.
insider.
Well, I'm going to illustrate a point here. I met the contestants of 21. We talked about this. I could tell not a good cast, not feeling it. Season 22, when I met the contestants, I felt a lot better about them. I've had a much better vibe. And Survivor's been very lucky that way. They've had some stinker seasons, but they've usually gotten lucky and bounced back strong. All right, let's talk about another show we're real high on. We're going back to scripted fare. We're bouncing back to...
I'm out of here.
What's happening?
One of our favorite shows, Modern Family. We love one of our favorite comedies on the air, but you know, incredible ensemble cast, and you looked at the Emmys, and like so many of them were nominated. So it got us to thinking, who is actually the funniest person on the show? We each have our picks for the funniest person, and I'm starting with Mike Slezak, who's the funniest person on Modern Family.
I hated you for asking this question because it's almost impossible. I'm gonna throw my weight, you know. I don't want to say I don't throw my weight. I don't want to reference my weight.
Your considerable weight.
Quite a heft.
Your heft
over there.
I'm going to pick Sofia Vergara. I probably rewind my DVR the most for her.
Because you can't understand what she's saying.
No, because she's hilarious. When she killed the rat in the alleyway in her Sunday best, when she said gargle, when she was dressing Jay as a gargle. I even loved, I know the Peruvian joke offended some people the other week, but to me, it's the kind of thing that someone actually says at home, unfiltered. She's just hilarious and crazy. She does physical comedy well. Her reaction shots, I just think she's great. And it helps that she's paired with Ed O'Neill, because I think, you know, he would be my close runner-up to her, and since most of their scenes are together, I just think they're genius.
Yeah.
They're a genius couple.
I love Ed O'Neill. I think that he tends to stay back from the craziness. He's not, everyone else in the family is really like chatty and high-strung and super gay, and he's just like, oh, I'm laid back, I like to golf. And so he's kind of on the outside of it all, and I love his confessionals. There was one recently where he did the tag at the end of the show, and the very last second was just him cracking himself up. It was just bellowing Ed O'Neill laughter, and I thought that was a brilliant way to end. I also love Haley, the oldest daughter. For Halloween, she was like, check it, I'm a sexy black cat. Yeah. That was my favorite line of the entire...
You tweeted that line.
I did. I mean,
sweet
that's
tweet
how
right
you
there.
know that I'm actually paying attention to TV.
This is tough, you know. I love Julie Bowen on the show. She plays the harried mom, just like overwhelmed mom so well. Eric Stone Street is a riot, but you know, I'm all about the big doofus. I love the big doofus, and I love Ty Burrell. I honestly think he's the funniest person on television. And maybe that's because my wife keeps saying that like there's a little bit of me in him, which is a little.
I didn't want to be the first to say it, but I think there's a little bit of a vibe there.
You said it yourself when you talked about the tall doofus.
I've been known to sing a little High School Musical with the kids, so you know, I'm not putting on the leather jacket like he did, but yeah, I mean, I love his joy. Like I love his clueless joy that he always has, like watching him, you know, try and track down last week with the fire alarms and this, that. But he always manages to get it done. It always comes out right in the end, but I just think he's hysterical.
The Ty Burrell-Julie Bowen relationship is a great married couple thing. They zig when you expect them to zag, and they do feel like a real, genuine couple. I loved the Halloween episode when she has a complete freak out, nothing is going right, and he's freaking out thinking the magic is gone in their relationship because he's misinterpreting everything.
You know my one beef with the Halloween episode was, though? They had it wrong. He should have been the character that was obsessed with Halloween, because she's always just like, I can't deal with all this stuff.
I agree with you.
And he's the guy that's a kid. He's the one that's still a kid, not her. So he should have been the one that was insisting on putting on the ultimate haunted house, not sort of humoring her by
I
doing
did think that
it.
at the end there would be kind of a twist where she admits, I'm not that into Halloween. I just like to have it because it's my holiday.
We should write this damn show.
Oh, we're so insightful.
Those guys, those writers are awful.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve Levitan, get him out of there.
Yeah, that bum. I feel like we got through a lot this week. How do you guys feel about it?
I think we were all correct about Modern Family.
I think we are. I think no wrong answers there.
Okay.
All right, Annie's already checked out. Very good. I guess that's our cue to leave.
Exactly.
All right, join us next week. We'll be back November 19th with a Dancing with the Stars finale preview.
God, we're gonna talk about that show again?
That stupid
No one's gonna
dancing
listen.
show.
Check out Hidden Gems on our Pop Watch blog. Even Tom Bergeron reads it. I just have to throw that out there.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
He's
Loves
a huge fan. Thanks a lot for joining us. Now, Annie Barrett, come out with some outro music. Go.
Oh God.
Go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Then the horns go. Da, da, da.
Oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun. That was the piano. Dun, 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 dun.